Yo guys, what's good? I hope you're all doing awesome, man. We'll be pushing this phone to the limit, just basically trying to see where it'll break or whether it's gonna cope with graphically intense games. So the first game that I have here is called Car X Street. I think that's what it's called. Let's start with the graphics settings. So currently we're sitting at like the lowest, and I think I do have FPS. It's going to be on the top left, but let's start with like the highest settings. I'm speaking very low because it's very late. Sure, I don't want to be too loud for the other tenants and stuff, but yeah, this is what the high settings looks like. And as you can see, top left there, we're running on 7 FPS, 7 frames per second, and it is lagging. On the highest setting, it is lagging terribly. Let's see if I can use this one. Yeah, the game is lagging, but let's try to move forward. Nah, it kind of didn't cope. It's lagging, man. So let's tone it down a bit. Start by turning off all these stuff. Yeah, should be the sweet spot. Yeah, as you can see, it's still saying 9 FPS and things like that, but it's gonna run well. Because I did test it. Like the frame rate remains the same, meaning the game is very intense. So it's not gonna improve that much. Even when I take it down to the lowest, the FPS is still gonna remain slightly similar. Boom, damn. But yeah, let me tone it down a bit. As you can see, this is a very graphically intense game. Let me just turn it all the way down just so that you guys can see how it behaves, even at the lowest. As you can see, we're still sitting at like, so it went up slightly, but we're still at around like 9, 12, 13 and stuff like that. So that's basically how it is. Like, it's not going to change much, but it is playable. I'm not going to lie, it is playable. Even Yep, just jump on the street. As you can see, it's very responsive, even though the FPS is like 15 and stuff. For me, it looks very crisp, very clear. Albeit, the details are toned down. So when we're running at like 11, yeah, it's very responsive, man. I'm not getting like a lot of like frame drops at all. I'm not getting a lot of frame drops at all. So I think the biggest test for this phone would be Genshin Impact. But yeah. So I'd say if you want to play this game on the Redmi, this should be the sweet spot. So it's not going to be too laggy. It's going to be, to have detail, and it's not going to lag that much. You're not going to be like missing out on anything. As you guys can see, the car is very shiny. So yeah, I think the game is playable, man. I think the game is very playable, very realistic. You can play it at medium settings without an issue. It might look like it's slow, but that's just how the game is. Like, it takes time to respond. It feels more like a simulator than a racing game, to be honest. So yeah, that's it. Let's jump on to the next game. Perfect. I think we're in, guys. So I'll just let you guys guess what settings you think we're on. What settings do you think we are on? So this is Genshin Impact. As you can see, it's running very smooth. It's running very smooth. I think I'm actually starting to face the effects are working like quite well. No issues there. Let me show you guys what settings we're actually running. You'd be surprised. We're actually running at the highest settings, guys. At the highest settings. Let me turn on the FPS 60. We have bloom. We have everything on. Visual effects is setting to high. Hopefully it's not going to choke. Let's see. As you can see, the game is working quite well. The game is working quite well, so there's no issues there. The bloom effect might make it feel like it's lagging, but it's not. Definitely not, man. I think for me it's working quite well. So the game is definitely played. Genshin Impact is definitely playable at the highest settings. Although I don't even know what I'm doing. That's the unfortunate part. Like, I don't even understand this game. And if you wanted to play like smooth, then what you need to do is turn off, set the visual effects to, let's say, low. Environment detail, you can set it to the lowest as well, and then it should work well. You shouldn't face any issues at all. Like, definitely playable. I think I saw one of the comments that said Genshin Impact should be too much for this phone. Like, nah, definitely not, man. It definitely runs the game. Wuthering waves, like I mentioned last time, just lagged because the phone was actually running out of storage. That was the only issue, man. So that game is basically similar to Genshin Impact in terms of graphics quality. Now the things I don't have it installed because I can't install Genshin Impact and it at the same time. But yeah, guys, that's Genshin Impact in a nutshell. Let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so we're in Diablo Immortal. And here I don't even know what I need to do. Let me just try leaving the church. But yeah, let's see what graphics we're running on. So we have FPS at 30, so it's kept at 30. We can't even increase it. And then the graphics image accuracy, we can't even increase it as well. So it's stuck at medium. Image sharpening, enabling image phone to overheat. Okay, let's try this. I've never turned it on. Quality, let's turn it to very high. And then obviously, like, yeah, we're choking the phone basically. Yo. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it actually coped, dude. I thought for a second there that was game over. Like, to be honest, I thought, nah, it's not gonna cope. But yeah. Okay, we're getting frame drops here and there. But it's basically running the animations quite well. Yeah, let's see a fight scene. Let's have a fight scene so you guys can see how it runs with like the animations and stuff. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, it's running the game at like the highest of the high settings, medium basically, medium or the highest settings, like for your shadows and things like that. So that's very interesting. So it's not bad. It's basically coping, man. It's basically coping. So I don't know who was saying that this phone is so weak and stuff. Like this is a beast of a phone, man. This is a beast of a phone. And now what I did is I actually turned off virtual RAM. So when I was reviewing Call of Duty and those other games, I had virtual RAM enabled. So that might have been also why I was lagging, but for the most part, it was mainly because I had just pick up a bit of gold there. Was mainly because I was running out of space. So for now, as you can see today, I'm using a different screen recorder, and I'm also I also have a bit of space on my phone. But this recording that might finish the space, so let's see. But yeah, man, I think you guys can see that the game runs well. There's no issue with that. Let's just review the settings one more time. Yeah, so the graphics were 30 resolution. We had medium. We turned on image sharpening. Quality is very high. Everything else is very high. Fluid dynamics. Let's just choke it a bit more. Enhanced reflection, ray tracing is not supported. Reduce nah. Okay, let's see if anything changes. No, it's still good, man. It's still good. So yeah, man, the game Diablo Immortal is actually playable at high settings. Let's jump on to the next game. Okay, perfect. I think we're in. Let's check what graphics settings we're running on. Graphics and sound. So we're running at exquisite. It doesn't even support max. Let's turn it up to high there. So when we have it at high, yeah, so that's the highest I believe we can set it. Anti-aliasing off, flashlight eye protection mode off. So I think this is the highest that we can set the game. And so what we're playing now is called Delta Force. So someone said it's basically similar to Warzone, and as you can see, we're having a bit of like frame drops there. Yeah, having a bit of like frame drops. Yo, I am bad. Yo. Okay, so we're back in. But yeah, man, the game doesn't look very detailed. It doesn't look like very difficult or anything. Yeah, man, I think the graphics are running quite well. The game doesn't feel difficult at all. Doesn't feel like it's choking or anything. It's basically running quite well, to be honest. There's like a lot of recoil, man. The game feels very realistic. I'm hoping I got a kill.
Overload activated.
Finally, even if I die now, that's fine. Yo, that was hectic. Got another kill. So the game's run quite well, man. And it's very interesting. Very difficult because the gun feels very realistic, man. but yeah, now it started lagging. But yeah, that should be it for Delta Force. It basically runs the game well, and if you want to run it well, I think the sweet spot would be at medium settings. But yeah, it basically runs the game at the highest settings that the settings allow you to select. So let's jump on to another game. Perfect. So we're in. It's a game developed by the same people that developed Genshin Impact. So you can see by the menu that it's very graphically intense. But let's see. Unfortunately, it needs to download the game resources. So yeah, so we're not going to be doing that. But yeah, let me just show you guys the specs on CPU Z. So we have MediaTek G91 CPU, G91 Ultra. It's a 12 nanometer processor, so it's not very new. And the GPU is the Mali G52. And then this basically is just the device. So the total RAM that we have, obviously 6 gigs, and we're actually working on 2 gigs of RAM like now. So for some reason Xiaomi uses a lot of a lot of RAM. I don't know for what. Yeah, so I think overall the phone handles gaming well. So I think with Genshin Impact is the one game that I thought it was going to choke on, and fortunately it did the best. It did well in that game. And with the other games, so the one that it choked the most on was the Car X Meet or Car Times Meet. So not necessarily choke, but you could feel that you're playing at very, very low FPS, less than 20 consistently, but the game is playable. I'm not going to lie. So these games that I tested were like some of the highest games that you could possibly find. And unfortunately, what was that game? So Delta Force, it works, it's playable. The controls for me are very difficult. Genshin Impact, out of this world, it played like very well with high settings even. And this is the game Honkai Star Rail. It needed to download like resources, which I didn't know. And then Diablo also works well on higher settings. Real Car Racing also needed me to download extra resources. So these are the games. These were graphically intense games. So just let me know what you guys think. Like, was the phone able to handle, to handle the games, or were they too much? So for me, it's well balanced. I mean, albeit it's lacking 5G. But with that said, cheers and bye for now.